90-Day Fiancé. Jenny's new life update in India proves that her in-laws were wrong. She's the right woman for Sumit. 90-Day Fiancé star Jenny Slatten's often been considered an unlikely mate for Sumit Singh, but he recently honored her on her 67th birthday, and later on, the two danced joyfully outside. For Jenny, the latest installment of Scorpio season has been so fulfilling. Every time Sumit gushes about their love, she must think back to when it wasn't so easy. Sumit was raised by a cold and judgmental mother, and Jenny's unconditional love must make him feel safe. Everyone was against her, but she learned how to fight her own battles. Clearly, she believed that Sumit was worth fighting for, and maybe he was. Now that he gets less shade from his toxic mother Sadhana Singh, who used to strongly disapprove of Jenny, it looks like Sumit can really be himself and show his love. Maybe he loved Jenny all along. She forgave him for catfishing her in the beginning, preferring the real Sumit to the imposter that's actually sort of romantic. Sumit can count on Jenny through thick and thin. 90-Day Fiancé's Jenny can enjoy life now. She's overcome so many obstacles. Ahead of Jenny's birthday, which is November 21st, Sumit posted a loving tribute to his wife. On October 7, 2024, he let the world know exactly how he feels about the poor woman who's been mercilessly mocked for loving him. Yes, Jenny hung in there when she should probably have cut her losses, but maybe she was right all along. She may have been fighting for a good life with a nice man. Maybe Jenny saw qualities in Sumit that didn't always come across on screen. Sumit wrote, "My wife. I don't have much words to explain my love for my wife. She is everything to me. It's hard to see these words age gap. I think there is no way I can explain my love except I just want people to stop mentioning age gap. And I don't need to explain to anyone, we just love each other." In the photo accompanying the post, Jenny and Sumit smiled, and both appeared to be at peace. While Sumit seemed like a real wimp at times, he had his troubles too. Growing up with parents who withheld love when he didn't follow the rules must have been grueling. Now, he can just be himself. Things are a little better between Jenny and his parents. That was really the biggest thorn in his side, seeing Jenny enjoying her life without the usual heated arguments and belittling by her in-laws is amazing. When no one's putting her down and trying to make her feel bad for simply existing, she blooms. Sumit seems to be blossoming too, really relaxing into a relationship that is right for him. No one gave this couple the freedom to live. Everything was under a microscope, nothing was good enough. But the truth is that both are good enough, they always were. Is this Jenny's happiest life phase? She looks wonderful on Instagram. 90-Day Fiancé, happily ever after? Viewers weigh in on Sumit and Jenny's bedroom mishap. 90-Day Fiancé, happily ever after? Viewers have been watching Jenny Slatten and Sumit Singh try out new things to spice up their sex life. Their most recent attempt, however, ended with strange and laughable results. When recounting their bedroom activity from the night before, Sumit said that when Jenny was doing the cowgirl position on him that they learned in Kama Sutra yoga, she broke my stomach. He said she sat on his stomach, and it resulted in a navel displacement, diarrhea, and they had to call the doctor to pray for Sumit. Happily ever after? Viewers are having a field day with this wild and comical situation and have been reacting on social media. Many 90-Day fans have been puzzled by what went on in Jenny and Sumit's bedroom, and the memes and comments coming from it have been hilarious. 90-Day Fiancé, happily ever after? Viewers react to Sumit Singh and Jenny Slatten. On Instagram, one 90-Day fan page made a joke about Sumit and Jenny's bedroom mishap. They shared a clip of Sumit saying, "And she sit on me and my stomach. And broke my stomach." In the caption, they added, "When your plan to turn her into a freak in the sheets backfires and now you have a broken belly button and diarrhea." Another fan account shared a clip of the scene when Sumit was talking about what went down. In the caption, they questioned, "Wait up, is it possible that this closeted mama's boy and his geriatric wife are having such vigorous sex that a doctor is needed?" Yet another fan page shared a different clip of the same scene and commented over the video, "This just keeps escalating." In the caption, they remarked, "At least Jenny can go back to starfishing now." In the comments of that post, other happily ever after? Viewers weighed in. One critic asked, "Why does anyone need to know this info?" Another commented, "Leaking?" There was an onlooker who exclaimed, "I died and came back to life during this scene. Jenny wants Sumit to get the US spousal visa." Sumit and Jenny have been on their honeymoon, and Jenny brought up the fact that she wants to apply for a spousal visa so Sumit could go to America with her. Sumit privately said he had no desire to leave India and leave his parents behind. It is likely that the pair will have a further conversation on the topic, and Sumit might tell Jenny then about his real feelings about going to America. 90-day fiancé, who is Jenny Slatten's ex-husband? Jenny Slatten has been married to her husband, Sumit Singh, since 2021, but the TLC star was previously married to another man before her 90-day fiancé debut. Jenny and Sumit first appeared on the flagship series during season 1 of 90-day fiancé, The Other Way. 63-year-old Jenny met and fell in love with Sumit, 33 years her junior, after the Indian native catfished her online. Despite their large age gap and Sumit's parents disapproving of their romance, Jenny and Sumit finally tied the knot in 2021 after 10 years together. However, before Sumit came into the picture, Jenny was married and shares 3 children with her ex-husband, Ralph Edwards. As it turns out, Jenny has always had an affinity for younger men. Ralph, a former vocational nurse, was born in 1964, meaning he is 7 years younger than Jenny, who was born in 1957, as In Touch Weekly reports. Here's what we know about Jenny Slatten's ex-husband Ralph Edwards. 90-day fiancé viewers are familiar with her daughter, Christina, who has made multiple appearances in the franchise. Jenny and her ex-husband also share 2 other daughters and 4 grandchildren. Jenny and Ralph wed in 1987, and 15 years later, in 2002, Jenny filed for divorce. Their divorce had been a lengthy process, as they weren't able to come to a custody agreement for several years. In July 2021, 1 month before tying the knot with Sumit, Jenny filed for certified copies on dissolution with child, Ron. Jenny and Sumit Singh's 90-day fiancé viewers are familiar with her daughter, Christina, who has made multiple appearances in the franchise. Jenny and her ex-husband also share 2 other daughters and 4 grandchildren. Jenny and Ralph wed in 1987, and 15 years later, in 2002, Jenny filed for divorce. Their divorce had been a lengthy process, as they weren't able to come to a custody agreement for several years. In July 2021, 1 month before tying the knot with Sumit, Jenny filed for certified copies on dissolution with child, Ron. Jenny and Sumit Singh's marital troubles on 90-day fiancé, happily ever after? This season on 90-day fiancé, happily ever after, Jenny and Sumit's marital woes continue to play out. Now that they're settling into married life in India, Jenny wants Sumit to be more available for her. However, Sumit wants to work more, meaning he's spending more time away from Jenny. During the November 13th episode of Happily Ever After, viewers watched Jenny visit the emergency room after she suffered a fall and injured her arm. During their hospital visit, Jenny emphasized that she wanted Sumit home more in the event that another accident would happen while he wasn't home. Jenny was relieved when her daughter Christina visited, as she supported the notion that Sumit needs to better support his wife and not worry about what his parents think of their marriage. Telling Sumit that she felt his actions have been disrespectful, Christina told her father-in-law, "You know, my mom is out here by herself, so I do want her to feel accepted. And the only way that she can really do that is by you 100% holding her up, as opposed to just letting it happen and saying, oh, that's just the family. That's how they are and that's what they do." 90-day fiancé, all you need to know about Jenny's first marriage. Who was her ex-husband? Jenny Slatten and Sumit Singh made their TV debut as a couple on 90-day fiancé. Although the show has captured their relationship for the past 3 years, they have been together for a decade. It is not their first relationship, as both of them were married to different people in the past. While viewers know about Sumit's first marriage, they always wondered about Jenny's. Well, new details about her first marriage have come into the limelight. Who was she a wife of before Sumit? Keep reading to know all the details. 90 Day Fiancé. Jenny Slatten was married for 15 years before meeting Sumit. Jenny and Sumit have had their fair share of highs and lows on 90 Day Fiancé. Earlier, they were appearing on the Other Way spin-off. Since they tied the knot in the finale, they made their debut on Happily Ever After as husband and wife. This is not their first relationship, as they were with different people in the past. Sumit's parents had arranged his marriage to another woman that Jenny didn't know of. In fact, an entire season focused on Sumit's divorce so he could properly be with his foreign partner at last. However, there has been minimal information about Jenny's first husband. Sources from In Touch reveal that Jenny Slatten was previously married to Ralph Edwards. They tied the knot with one another during the 80s, and their marriage lasted for 15 years. At last, the couple filed for separation in 2002. It was a divorce with minor children. Together, they had 3 daughters. The man used to work as a vocational nurse until 2012, before his license became invalid. Jenny talked about her first marriage in the show as well. She revealed that it affected her self-esteem as her ex-husband left her for someone else. 90 Day Fiancé. Sumit and Jenny reconcile after their big brawl. Right from the first episode, things took a nasty turn in Jenny and Sumit's life. The latter's parents weren't willing to accept Jenny as their daughter-in-law. Sumit's mother, Sana, also banned him from coming to his parents' funeral after they are no longer in this world. With this, she also disowned him. The 90 Day Fiancé star was expecting his wife to support him and stand with him through his tough times. However, she lashed out at him, too, while telling him to get away from her forever. He, too, was angry that he always had to be the one to pamper her. At last, both of them reconciled, and Jenny apologized for her behavior. Sumit explained that his parents would always come first for him as it is his duty to comfort them. Hence, he was upset after they disowned him. Yet, he, too, said sorry for leaving his partner alone when she was crying. Both of them embraced one another in a hug and made up. At last, the Indian man stated that it is hard for his wife to understand the dynamics between Indian families and what close-knit bond kids have with their parents. 90 Day Fiancé alum Jenny shares stunning makeup-free images with Sumit. Jenny Slatten of 90 Day Fiancé has never looked younger than the images in her latest Instagram post. When Jenny Slatten and Sumit Singh first starred on 90 Day Fiancé, the Other Way fans didn't give their relationship much hope. This was particularly so with their 30-year age gap, but the couple went on to prove fans wrong. In fact, in Jenny's latest Instagram post she looks younger than ever and clearly very happy. 90 Day Fiancé spoilers. The Other Way adders Jenny Slatten and Sumit Singh. Jenny Slatten recently shared a reel on Instagram, composed of beautiful images of herself and her husband, Sumit Singh. Having seen the photos, 90 Day Fiancé fans believe she is looking younger than ever. In fact, some of the images were makeup-free, where she looked youngest of all. Before their relationship began, Jenny met a man named Michael Jones online and began talking. It turned out Michael was actually Sumit Singh and he was catfishing Jenny. Once fans learned about this, they begged her to break up with him. Later, and even worse, Sumit entered an arranged marriage without telling Jenny. At that stage, 90 Day Fiancé fans truly hoped the couple would split. Sumit's divorce was painful and costly for him, which made the idea of marriage to Jenny a difficult decision. The couple also went through plenty of drama with Sumit's parents, who refused to give them their blessings. However, since then, things have been onward and upward for Jenny and Sumit. In fact, the 90 Day Fiancé stars are living happily together in India and haven't looked back once. It turns out Sumit wasn't interested in moving to America and was happy to settle down in India. Meanwhile, Jenny has learned a lot about Indian culture and has settled in very well. Also, despite being in her mid-60s, she clearly feels happy in her marriage to Sumit. 90 Day Fiancé spoilers. Jenny Slatten looks younger than ever before. Recently, Jenny and Sumit made a trip to Goa, India, during the Indian summer, but have now returned home to Noida. Recently, Jenny posted a reel to Instagram, sharing memories from their vacation. Meanwhile, a shirtless Sumit is looking slim and toned, while Jenny looks so young and beautiful. The reel can be seen in the tweet below. The 90-Day Fiancé star's fans and followers were quick to note that she doesn't look anything like 60 years of age. In the images, Jenny sports a variety of colorful outfits, revealing her toned legs and shoulders. Meanwhile, her face is simply glowing with happiness. Among the comments, one fan noted that Jenny looks so happy all the time, in every picture. Another follower quipped, "Jenny, you are aging backwards," while another called her a role model for never giving up on Sumit. Since Jenny and Sumit starred on 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, they have become firm fan favorites, with many fans wanting to see them in more spin-offs of the TLC reality show. Meanwhile, looking at these images seems to close their 30-year age gap, as Sumit looks more mature and toned and Jenny looks so young. 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, find out which of these couples got married. 3 couples are tying the knot in an unprecedented event, with a 4th couple's wedding plans in full swing. Steven Johnson and Alina Bayo finally got their dream wedding day in Turkey. Kenny Niedermeyer and Armando Rubio said "I do" in Mexico, and even Jenny Slatten and reluctant Sumit Singh finally took their final steps towards their dream Indian wedding. Steven and Alina's dream wedding. In the last episode of 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, we saw Steven and Alina finally making their way to the altar as they gathered all their paperwork and headed to get the approval for their wedding and marriage license. While it was the moment they had been waiting for, it came almost too soon, as they booked their wedding date appointment for that Wednesday, 2 short days away. Alina hired a last-minute wedding planner who came with her to pick out her unique wedding dress. Now, in an exclusive sneak peek, which can be viewed here, we get to see Alina's dress in action as she and Steven finally tie the knot. The sneak peek reveals that while Alina's friends and family couldn't make the wedding, Steven made sure she was not alone by collecting her favorite local cats and bringing them to the ceremony. While it may seem like an odd gesture, for this quirky couple, it makes complete sense. With the pandemic, Alina could not come to America to be with Steven, and he, in turn, could not come to Russia to be with Alina before they were married, so the two met up in Turkey, where the borders were open. But the couple didn't know anyone in Turkey, so while they were there, they befriended the local street cats and felt as though they were part of the couple's family. So Steven making sure the whole crew could make it to the wedding, fur family included, is really a touching gesture. The two had initially agreed to stay in Turkey for as long as their visas allowed, which was only a few weeks, then get married and return to Russia. At least, that was the plan. The two hit some major obstacles as Steven admitted some slip-ups in both his commitment to the Mormon religion and to Alina, as he revealed he had in fact slept with other women, even after he and Alina had met and started talking. There is still some debate as to whether the two are currently still together, but at least for the moment, the wedding looks like it went off without a hitch. While the two hit some road bumps along the way, they do seem happy at least for the moment, and from the previews, it looks like their wedding was everything the couple, and we, had hoped for. Kenny and Armando tie the knot. Here comes the groom. 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way's Kenny and Armando finally tie the knot, surrounded by friends and family in Mexico. The couple had to jump through more than a few hoops to get to this day, and from the pictures, it looks like they are not wasting a minute of their celebration. In exclusive pictures, TLC provides a sneak peek of Kenny and Armando's big day, and from the photos, it looks just as extravagant and fun-filled as we hoped it would be. Kenny and Armando started off with more than a few bumps in the road. Due to the pandemic, Kenny had to leave his home and entire family behind in Florida to move to Mexico to be with Armando and his young daughter, Hannah, who were not able to come to the US at that time. It was a big blow for Kenny, who was very close to his 4 adult children and his young grandson, Cooper. But the two overcame that struggle just in time to take on the Mexican government over the right to marry in the country. After initially getting the runaround, finally, the two were able to be approved for their marriage license and could finally set a date and finalize their dream wedding. But once that hurdle was overcome, then the couple had to worry about Armando's conservative family, who was a little shocked by his decision to marry a man, after previously being married to a woman and having his daughter Hannah. There was some debate as to whether Armando's father would actually attend the wedding, but finally, he agreed to come, much to Armando's relief. But despite all the hurdles, these two have always been rock solid and seem to still be doing just fine, if not better than that, and we couldn't be happier for them. Jenny and Sumit moved towards marriage, at last. 90-day fiancé. The other ways Jenny Slatten and Sumit Singh are finally getting married. We know, you've heard this before. But this time, it looks like it's finally true. 3 years and countless obstacles later, these two long-distance lovebirds are finally in the same place, at the same time, the stars have aligned, and the in-laws have stepped aside. And these two are tying the knot. In an exclusive sneak peek from TLC that can be viewed here, we see that Jenny and Sumit's marriage process has officially begun. The last we had checked in, things were looking pretty rough for Jenny and Sumit, as the most recent episode revealed that Sumit had gone behind Jenny's back to stop their marriage process. After finally getting the astrologer's okay, and Sumit's parents' grudging acceptance of their relationship, it seemed all the obstacles between Jenny and Sumit's marriage were finally out of the way. The couple headed to the lawyer's office, filled out all the paperwork, and got their marriage process started. But in a tense moment, Sumit revealed to Jenny that he had called the lawyer and asked him to hold the filing later that evening. Jenny was understandably upset, and it looked like it might really be the end for these longtime 90-day fiancé, the other wayers. But just when it seemed all hope was lost, we got this sneak peek of the two meeting with the